Alright, hello again everyone. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I've been starting to go over a series of videos that are going to go over how to create a simple payroll application using the Java programming language. This is part of the AWD1112 programming with Java class. And in the last example, I quickly went over the hello world. So I'm going to just come in here and do a file, new. And this time I'm just going to choose Java project. Alright, it says, what do you want for the name? Okay, I'm going to call this how about Ch01 payroll. Okay, Ch1 payroll. You'll see that it's saving it under my Java folder. Alright, that's not exactly where I thought it was going to save it, but I guess that's okay. Alright, next. Yeah, I want that. Basically, again, these are just kind of some evils that you have to do, for lack of better words, and finish. There it is. So I come into here, new, package. You may or may not remember this from before, edu.rankin.jpscott. And there's my package, new, class, and we're going to call this payroll. All right, we're going to call all the ones we do here payroll, but they'll be in different folders, so that's fine. And we do want a main for right now. So there we go. Again, I like to clean this up as I get started here. I know I'm a little anal about this kind of stuff, but I just have a way that I like to do things. Let's put a comment at the top of our program right after our package statement. And in fact, let's put a multi-line comment in. So we'll say here, this is our first payroll program. How about Java payroll program? Oops. This is our first Java payroll program. It demonstrates the concepts shown in Chapter 1 of our Gaddis Java textbook. And I should say it really demonstrates some of the concepts. Okay? Alright. So, as we get started, I like to start slow and then build our way up. So what we're going to do is, I'm probably going to go a little nuts here with comments. So I'm going to say declare and initialize variables with, we'll call them hard-coded values. All right. The other thing is, and know what I'm about to show you, no, you don't have to do. But again, like I said, maybe I'm going a little nuts here. But I'm going to, if nothing else, I'd rather over comment than under comment. All right. So I'm going to have in here what? About 4 or 5 variables. I'm going to have first string, first name, equal, and I'll put my first, F, my first name in there. String, last name, equal, and my last name, and double hours Again, I'm making stuff line up. You don't have to do that. And we'll say that I work 40 hours a week. And we'll give myself a pay rate. We'll say $25 an hour. And I'll have a gross, which we'll just initialize to 0.00. How's that? All right. So I'm going to put in here employee first name, and I'm the employee in question. Employee last name. Employee hours worked. Employee hourly rate. And employee gross pay, which is going to be hours times rate. All right. Now, hopefully, I don't have to go over a lot of this. A string variable is just that. It's a variable that holds strings. Strings must be within double quotes, can't be single quotes, must be double quotes. Doubles are values that may have a decimal place, which is why I use that. All right. You'll notice I get these things over here, and what that is saying, for lack of better words, is these are warnings, compiler warnings that are telling me that I have declared variables that I'm not using in the program. It says the value of the local variable is not used. Okay, I guess I could have even added here. These are local variables because they're declared inside of a method. What method? They're declared inside of main. All right. Now I could have said right here double gross equal hours times rate, but I'm going to do it down here. So I'm going to say here calculate gross pay. So gross equals hours times rate. We're not worrying right now about things like overtime. We'll get to that in a bit. So display all inputs and outputs. All right, so system.out.println. And I'm going to put that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 times. I'm going to put that in here. All right, so I've got these variables, and I'm just going to echo out their values. So I'll put in here employee first name, a plus sign for concatenation, first name. So right now, if I ran the program, it would say employee first name space Jeff. Employee last name, employee hours worked. This won't line up perfectly. I don't really care. In fact, I mean, I went a little nuts with this, but that's fine. So hours worked plus hours. Employee hourly rate. And let's put a dollar sign in there. We'll learn later how we can format it to have a dollar sign in there. Why don't we do this? We'll line stuff up like little soldiers. All right. Again, we'll put the dollar sign and manually hard code that in. And then we'll just put a message in here that says end of program run. The backslash n's are for a new line. So if this works, right here we're declaring 5 variables. 2 of those variables are of type string. One will hold an employee's first name, one will hold an employee's last name. Then we have 3 double variables. So they're variables that can hold a decimal place. And you see here they do. We've got hours, which is set to 40.00, rate, which is set to 25.00, and gross, which is set to 0.00. I don't need to put the 0.00 in there, but it's just considered good practice to do so. Then I'm calculating gross as hours, so that's 40 times rate, which is 25. So gross should be 1,000 if I did it correctly. So when I run this in just a moment, it should say employee first name, Jeff, employee last name, Scott, employee hours worked, 40.0 probably, employee hourly rate, 25.0, and employee gross pay, 1,000.0, end of program run. All right? So, good time to probably save, run, run. What do we have? Employee first name, Jeff. Employee last name, Scott. Employee hours worked, 40.0. Employee hourly rate, 25.0. Employee gross pay, 1,000.0. A couple blank spaces, end of program run. If I really wanted to get nuts here and try to line things up better, I could put in backslash t's here. I'm sure that once I do this, it probably will not line up the way I want it to, but still that's okay. Now here I need to put the backslash t before the $sign, otherwise it's going to look a little weird. Now this may not line up, so it looks like I want one more for each one of these. Again, you can go nuts with this stuff, and it's really and truly in the end is not going to be very important anyway. So this is the last time I'll try this. Hours worked looks okay. Save again, run, run. All right, that looks a little nicer. Okay, so I've got first name, last name, hours worked, hourly rate, and gross pay. So what I attempted to do in this chapter is to very quickly show you and get an up and running Java program. What I'm going to do next, because every time we run this program, we get the same output because I've hard-coded the values. So I'm going to write a couple more programs in here, and I'm going to show you how you can use either a scanner object if you want to do that. All right, so you can use a scanner object, or let's see. I guess we're going to use, I don't know if we're going to use a scanner for both of these or not, but it looks like it. All right, so I'll be back to show you that in just a couple moments.